Next up at UFC 288, we have the main card opener. And they said, you know what? This is a pretty big fight. This is a pay-per-view with potentially the greatest of all time in the main event versus the other
Wait, you about to
division.
trash this fight?
Greatest of all time.
Wait, no.
I'm trashing that they put Kron Gracie on the main card.
Well, it's because Charles Jourdain and Kron Gracie is an absolute dog. I mean, that fight with
I
Cub
get
was
it.
a great fight.
I get it. The dude hasn't
What do you mean
fought.
you get it? You're just trying to say you don't get it. Now you're saying you get it. I just explained why it's on the
There
main
are
card. You're
better
like, I get
fights.
it. You were just sitting here complaining that's on the main card, and then it's like, oh yeah, I get it. What?
I get
Clean
what
it
you're
up.
saying. I get what you're saying, that Kron's a dog. Should it be on the main card? No. He has 5 professional fights, hasn't fought in 4 full years. And they said, here's a main card slot for you.
It's gonna be
Here's
great
a
fight.
main card slot.
Dude's a dog, man. It's gonna be a great fight. This is gonna be fight of the night and fucking embarrass your dumb ass.
This isn't a better fight than the Matt Frevola-Drew Dober fight.
Well, that's why they put that as the fefeatured prelim. If the order stays,
Oh, okay.
that's the slot for the better
Idiot.
fight. So yeah, they put it right there.
Kron Gracie, 5-1 in his illustrious MMA career, 4-1 in his last 5, coming back after just a brief 4 years away. He's taking on Charles Jourdain, 13-6 overall, 2-3 in his last 5, coming off the decision loss to Nathaniel Wood. Kron Gracie, we talked about the all beard, no mustache. You know what they're going to do? Well, when you see this last name, you know what he's great at, right? He's a phenomenal grappler, high-level BJJ, all sorts of experience and accolades. He only has 6 MMA fights, but he does take his career pretty seriously. Obviously, that fight with Cub Swanson, as Jacob mentioned, that was a very good fight. That was a fun fight to watch. He lost that fight, and then he said, let me take time to get better. I don't know if that's what he's been doing the entire 4 years, but that's why he stepped away, to get better, to work on his striking, to absolutely improve there. But what was frustrating about that fight is 0 takedown attempts. Didn't even try to take it to the ground, where he should have a very clear advantage, but didn't go that route, didn't do that. Hung out, super tough, as Jacob mentioned. I'm not shitting on Kron Gracie. I was more teasing that there's nothing wrong with Kron Gracie. It's insane that there's better fights for this main card. Anyway, Kron Gracie is incredibly tough. I just mentioned one.
I know, but they put that in the spot to sell the pay-per-view. That's one of the best fights on the card, and that's why it's there. So what's the other one? What's going to replace this one? You're not going to take Drew Dober out of the featured spot.
Okay.
That's there for a reason. That's why that Chris Curtis and Gastelum fight was right there. They knew it was going to be a crazy fight. It sold the pay-per-views.
Chaos Williams is more deserving of a main card slot. Okay,
so you put a 27-year-old debut fighter on the main card. That's your idea of fun.
That 27-year-old debut fighter has 3 times the amount of fights as Kron Gracie. 3 times.
It's because it's Charles Jourdain and Kron is a dog. It's
Charles Jourdain. You make it sound like he's a pay-per-view draw. He's barely on main
cards. Every fight that he fights is absolutely insane. What do you mean?
I'm not trashing the fighters. I'm saying it's a weird fight for the main card.
No, it's gonna be a great. Both these guys are. I mean, I'm explaining to you time and time again. It's like it just goes whoa over your stupid bald head.
Just shut the fuck. It's there. Anyway, Kron Gracie, tough as hell, will throw out strikes. Doesn't wrestle as often as you would like him to wrestle, considering he is a phenomenal grappler. He's taking on Charles Jourdain. Charles Jourdain's going to come forward and do what he does, right? He's a fun striker. He's absolutely going to put on a show. He has a great chin. He's incredibly fast, really good timing. He's willing to take one. He's willing to spin. He's willing to just go out there and make something happen. The problem is he's given up 21 takedowns in his 10-fight UFC career. 21 takedowns in 10 fights. And if I thought Kron Gracie would actually wrestle, Kron Gracie would be the pick. But we just watched him fight Cub Swanson. Not even attempt to wrestle. Getting pieced up on his feet. Didn't even attempt to wrestle. I don't think he's going to wrestle here as well. And I have to pick the actual MMA fighter with the, almost 20 fights of MMA experience. So Charles Jourdain's going to be the pick. There's a very easy path for Kron Gracie. I just don't know if he's going to take it, especially after we've seen Charles Jourdain get out-wrestled and out-grappled. What do you think, Jakey?
Yeah, Charles Jourdain's going to be the pick for this fight because he is the better overall fighter, but do not count out, and I know there is a lot of people, there is a little bit of a noise for the Kron Gracie side. When I'm seeing people talk about lock of the week, there is people picking Kron in this fight because he is an absolute dog. And in that Cub-Swanson fight, his dirty, because he does train with the Diaz brothers brought him in for all the jiu-jitsu stuff, and in turn are teaching him how to box, and he literally fights like a Diaz brother. I mean, it's a little bit sloppy, it's not super technical, it's a little bit zombie forward, but in those kind of dirty boxing exchanges, he can be tough enough, and he does land shots. I mean, Cub was touching him up, but Cub at the end of that fight was all beat up as well because he is so good at that dirty boxing, and he is an absolute dog. And Charles Jourdain is a guy that is the better fighter. And if he stays at range, just kind of picks his parts and it kind of picks them apart, he can do exactly what Cub did. The issue is, Charles Jourdain loves to fight. This guy loves to get in those wars, the Sparta kicks, the crazy fights. And if Kron can get him in that type of fight, there is a world where Kron can kind of out dirty box him and maybe find a way to the ground. But as you mentioned, he doesn't really shoot takedowns. He is a little bit of a jiu-jitsu nerd down there when it comes to the non-wrestling aspect of it. And when he's on the ground, yes, he is a Gracie, but he's not like an automatic submission win type person, right? I mean, if you go to the ground with Mackenzie Dern, you're going to get submitted. If you go to the ground with Amanda Hebos, you're going to get submitted. If you go to the ground with Tabitha Ricci, you're going to get Ryan Hall, you're going to get submitted. But Kron Gracie is not one of those just automatic submission guys. So even if it goes to the ground, Charles Jourdain still might be able to survive. They even talked about in that Cub-Swanson fight. Cub and him had a jiu-jitsu match, and Kron won, but it was 3-2. It was very close. Wasn't any submission. So I don't want people thinking that if this goes to the ground, it's an automatic submission. But Kron's a tough dude. He's a dog. He can dirty box just like the Diaz brothers, and Charles is a brawler as well. So Charles is a pick. He's the better fighter, but there is an outside world where Kron comes in and does enough to win this fight.
If he gets the wrestling going. I mean, Charles Jourdain.
I disagree. I literally explained that he can win in like dirty boxing and stuff. You just
I don't see that
put that to the side and said, nah, if he can run it down.
All right, so Jacob's take, guys, is Kron Gracie wins a dirty boxing striking match against Charles Jourdain, and I'm the idiot. Okay,
he can. He almost did it against Cub. He had some great moments versus Cub.
Fight. Yeah, okay.
Apparently you didn't watch that fight.
Yeah, no, I did, and I saw the very clear unanimous decision and the stats. But yeah, he almost beat Cub.
A dirty boxer.
He almost
because Cub was picking him apart from distance. But if you watch those engaged in the pocket exchanges, Kron was winning a good majority of those.
Yeah, no, hey guys.
Yep.
Jacob is right. Kron Gracie is going to be the better boxer in this match.
This is going to be fun when he actually
Jacob's
does
right.
This is going to be fun.
Jacob's right. Well, guys.
Can't wait to see this.
I mean, if you want to see Jacob's thousands of dollars worth of bets on Kron Gracie here, because he will be the better striker in this matchup, check out premium
didn't say that.
membership. Well, you said he's going to win the dirty boxing exchanges.
I think if Charles just goes in there and just brawls with them, there's a chance that Kron can come out on top. But I don't think that's going to happen, and Charles is going to win. I just don't want you trying to mislead people. I said that Charles is going to win the fight.
Okay, but to be very clear, you said Kron Gracie will win the dirty boxing exchange. Anybody can win any fight, Jacob. That's not what you said.
I said, if this is completely dirty boxing, there is a world where he can pull out a decision. Yes. He doesn't need... You said he absolutely needs wrestling to win. I disagree with that.
Okay. What's our bet on this fight?
I mean, how can you bet that? I have no idea. Go ahead and make some bullshit up and then call me a pussy for not taking it.
Well, we can just go by this.
Week after week. I will give you... on some bullshit fucking nonsense bet that nobody would ever take, and then I'm a fucking pussy for not taking it. You clown.
Well, you are for a lot of reasons. We could just go by the stats, striking stats. I agree. It's hard to say who won striking exchanges, but
I'll know. You won't know. I mean, you obviously don't know how to judge striking exchanges, but
no, you're right, guys. Kron Gracie is going to win the dirty boxing exchanges. That's in quotes, and then tag it to Jacob.
Dirty boxing.
All right, that's the quote of the week. Kron Gracie will win the dirty boxing exchanges from Jacob Lyons.
I might make it my lock now. I'm pissed off.